Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, and today with the Help Academy Sports Coach 2025, I want to talk to you about a session that I've worked on working on outlet passes. So when we discuss outlet passes in the context of the game, we're talking about passes that relieve pressure. You have a player who is dribbling the ball. They come up to a defender. Maybe the defender gets their back turned, something along those lines. Their progression is slowed. So here we need to be able to get out of the situation. Now we could have an overlap, which is also technically relieves the pressure, could be an outlet pass, but an overlap here. Or we can play negative or sideways to relieve the pressure, because now this player has time and space, can see the field, can make a better decision than a player who is their head down because the defender is engaging them and is not unable to go forward. So looking for situations where we can get an outlet pass, or where we should have an outlet pass, or where we should overlap, or making sure that we provide easy options. I can't tell you how many times I have a situation like this. This player makes the overlap, doesn't read this player, ball's on this foot, overlaps this way. They don't know what to do. They can't make that pass. Their body position is not correct for it. So we're teaching the players not only like, hey, you should pass backwards sometimes. We're teaching the players there's times to pass backwards, and how can you put yourself in the best position to then be ready for them to pass backwards so that they know the right time and place. So that's what this session is designed to work on. And where we're going to start is, just simple. I don't know how to draw it up on here, but we're just going to do a simple game of handball. So if you've ever played handball with your players, it's like a fan favorite. I think it is really exceptionally good for understanding spatial awareness, because essentially what you're doing is you're taking away, especially for American players, it's different now, but it used to be so much like they were so involved in like handball games, like baseball, basketball, football, and then soccer was head down, look at the ball. It's a totally different dynamic. So you're teaching spatial awareness, you're teaching the spacing of the game, but they didn't have to worry about the technical aspects, and they could keep their heads up a little bit more. I think that's a different climate we have today in the United States, for sure. But I think it rings true that these players, you take away the technical aspect. They're not worried about being on the ball. They're worried about where everyone is a little bit more. They're able to open up their eyes and see the field a little bit more and see how that impacts them. So you'll see situations in this where, if you never played before, essentially you hold the ball. There's different rules for everyone, but maybe you take like 3 steps, 2 steps, and then you have to throw it to somebody else. And then the defender generally can't slap the ball out of their hands. I don't know how you play, but the defender can put their hands up in front of them and try to defend them. So when that happens, you've got a similar situation where this player's on the ball, this defender's here, there's a defender in their face, they can't move forward anymore, they've taken their steps, they need something easy. So you'll see this consistently in handball. You'll see this, and then you'll see this. You'll see the outlet pass, someone's really close, hey, I've got you, and then that person then will take that and launch it the other way. And you see it all the time. And generally, it's pretty successful because they're watching the ball goes back, their eyes go back, and they're not watching the guy going forward. So we're like, hey, why don't we just do that in the game where we play, we call it back and through. Find the outlet, it goes back, defenders push forward, leave space behind, and we play forward. So they're playing handball, they're having fun, but they're seeing how that translates pretty well, because we're stopping and talking about where are these outlet situations. How can we put ourselves in a position based on the body position, based on where the defender is, based on what we actually can do. The player can't, hey, I'm right here. Well, if I can't throw the ball through my legs under, the hoop and back to you, or like, I can't get you the ball. You're not a good outlet. We have to put ourselves in a good body position for that. So I would go from handball, and we'll revisit in a second. So this would be short. Just run through it real quick, play a quick game. Like, hey, we're going to play again later. I just want you to get the idea behind it. So then we're going to teach some of the concepts here. Now, you don't have to use this particular pattern. It's just I would go for a pattern here to show them the concept. So I call this one the Sheamus pattern, where we have all right, a player on this cone, player on this cone, player on this cone, player on this cone. So ball's here. Player passes here. All right, we're imagining this player that receives the pass, they're under pressure. So the pass will naturally take you here. You want to check back we're talking about backpedaling, opening up space, opening your hips so you can see this player here. The ball then gets played back, so they should be yelling outlet, outlet, outlet. So we play to the outlet. The outlet swings. The ball over here. They then make a run, essentially creating an outlet or an overlap here. Square back from this ball. And then we play to this player. And then the player that was this player, after they've passed, would go to the end of the line. No, sorry. The player would go here. This player would go to the end of the line. This player would check out, and we would restart the process. So again, I really enjoy that that pattern because I think it goes into outlets, overlaps, makes the decisions based on where you are, how you should receive this pass, timing everything up. I really enjoy that because you'll see players that run too fast, or they won't run fast enough, or they'll play the first pass and they will run towards that player, and now there's no outlet. It doesn't really help us out. So you're seeing a lot of different situations within one singular drill, and a pretty sterile drill, pretty stationary drill on what we're looking for out of an outlet. So from here, I would go keep way. I would go like keep way with like one touch, 3 touch, 2 touch, 1 touch. So what we're constantly seeing here is, hey, I've run out of touches. Now that's not always realistic in game, obviously, but you're seeing, hey, you have to recognize this player is going to run out of touches. If you want to be really effective at this player is taking 2 touches. He's about to take his 3rd touch. It has to be a pass. I know that because he's running out of space and he's running out of touches. How can I put myself in the best body position to receive that pass and help them and provide that outlet for them? Then I would go down 2 touch and short little bit of version of 1 touch. Where I'd go from there is then I would go back into it and I would have handball again. Now this time with handball, what we're focusing a lot more on is, are you finding these outlets? Can we find these patterns that we've worked on? Can you swing that ball out of here by providing the outlet? How do we quickly go to where the opposition is? If they're pressuring the guy on the ball, maybe they're double teaming him, that means somewhere out there is open. So we want to swing to where the space is. We're going to talk about compactness, about how the defense is going to get very compact to one side, right? Ball's over here. Defense is here. Generally speaking, your defense is going to be to one side of the field, try to play compact, try to make the field small. So how can we use an outlet, right? Let's say he can't get the ball over here. He can't get the ball up the line. He can't drive up the line because this guy's here. He's under pressure. How can we use this, the outlet, to find a better option to go forward than we originally had? And we'll talk about, play it down here, and we go. Bang. So again, you've done a little bit of teaching here, but it's kind of almost in the play practice play model, but within the handball tool case, like you're showing them, you're telling them why we're playing handball, you're teaching them the concept, and then you're playing handball again to cement that concept of, all right, so here's what we're looking for, how's your spacing, can he get you the ball, are you in a good body position, is he like going around with the ball and it's under him, he can't figure anything out, and he's just standing there like this, like a clock, or is he able to quickly get you the ball so we can rapidly move forward and break lines and go forward and find that maybe that back into a pattern we've already worked on. So from there, after that, end with a scrimmage. Hopefully we can translate those. Now we're introducing feet into it. So you're going from handball to same game, but just now with soccer specific, and hopefully you're seeing some translation of the pattern. So I talk about outlets and things like that. We have a verbiage. I'd love to hear some of the things that you talk about with, like, what are your important words? One of the things we always talk about is outlet, outlet, outlet. Show them a voice, tell them where to go. Let the person on the ball know where their options are. We kind of hammer that from day one in our high school sessions. That's what we need to be focusing on. So I'd love to hear some of the things that you see as like really important verbiage for your team and how you coach the game. So once again, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with Alpha Academy Sports Coach 2025. I hope this session finds you well.